Hi everyone, Liane here. I hope you're doing well. Today I am going to be swatching these lovely inks that I got from a viewer who remains or who wishes to remain anonymous. I'm going to call them Georgia. They sent me this care package of 4, 8, 12 inks. Some are bottles. Some are smaller bottles, and then some are ink vial samples. So I'm going to swatch all of them, and I cannot wait to see how all of these inks turn out. This is my first Birmingham Pen Company shimmer ink. This is Galactic Twinkle, so that's going to be really fun. I have 3 Diamine inks. I believe it's 3. Yep, it's 3. Diamine Twilight, Oxblood, and Jet Black. I already have Oxblood in my collection, but Twilight and Jet Black are brand new to me, so I'm really looking forward to that. I have these 4 new to me inks. This is J. Herbin's Emerald of Chivor. And if you've been in this fountain pen hobby for even just a little bit, you've heard of this ink. And I've heard about it, and I've known about it for the past 2 years. I'm getting to try it out today. This is Vert and Perle. Beautiful, muddy, green-gray sort of muted ink. This is Bleu de Profondeurs. This is like a navy blue. And this is Black Perle. I usually don't use black inks. So I have 2 black inks to swatch today. So we'll compare those. And then with these remaining ink vials, I have Taccia Benitsuchi. I think this is like a really pretty brick red. This is KWZ Brown Pink, another ink that I've been wanting to try. And lastly, wow, now this is an ink I've been wanting to try. This is Robert Oster's Rose Gold Antiqua, and this is also another shimmer ink. So I have 3 shimmer inks in my collection today. Okay, so actually before I do that, let me read you the letter or the card that Georgia gave me. She writes, Liane, thank you for sharing your love of fountain pens and stationery. I have truly enjoyed the 8 pen questions tag. Hope you find something new to love. Thank you, Georgia. I am always amazed when I receive a care package of inks, when I receive a letter in the mail from a viewer, because it takes time, it takes intention, it takes energy really to write something and then put a stamp or postage on it and send it in the mail. Sometimes you have to go to the post office to drop off these parcels. So thank you so much. It means so much to me that you took the time to create this ink package for me. Also, I wanted to highlight, I have a really fun announcement. This jewelry that I wear is made by Baleen. They are a local Seattle-based shop that has an online presence as well. It's shopbaleen.com, and I have loved their jewelry from the first time that they entered the jewelry scene. I think it was like in the mid 2010s. It was like 2014, 2015. And I usually don't wear a lot of jewelry. I actually don't own a lot of jewelry, but the jewelry that I do own they were made by Baleen. So I reached out to them and I told them that if there was ever any sort of shop that I would love to promote, it would be you. And they were happy to offer an affiliate program. And if you use my code Liane Likes, you get a 20% off discount for first-time customers, of course. So use the code Liane Likes, visit their shop. They actually just dropped their new spring collection, and there is a variation of this this ring that I wear all the time, but they came out with like even a more, it's like instead of it being more curved and bubbly up top, they have it more understated. It's a slimmer look. And so I will put some images of their site, some of the favorite jewelry pieces that I'm really hoping to acquire. Yeah, I hope you enjoy, because they are truly, truly a business that I have supported and I have loved. based in Seattle, but then they have an Instagram and online they have an online shop as well. So please check them out. It's Baleen, shopbaleen.com. Okay, so let's go back to the inks here. The first ink that I'm going to swatch is Rose Gold Antiqua by Robert Oster. This is an ink that I have seen online. So many folks rave about it. I remember at first, Karina from Karina Loves the Plan had swatched it, and I believe it's like one of her favorites. And I've been wanting to try this out. So here it goes. By the way, supplies, Hobonichi A5 plain notebook, uses Tomoe River paper, not the Sanzen paper. I have my glass teaspoon and I use the handle of it. Oh, why is it not swatching? I use the handle of the glass teaspoon to draw my cloud swatches. I have my Traveler's Company brass clip. And then to the right of me is a wood-handled glass dip pen by Seattleite. And this wood, oh, I love it so much. It's warm, it's rich, it's a Japanese cedar. And it was made by a Japanese glass artist named Rika Suga. Okay, so this is Robert Oster Rose Gold Antiqua. Beautiful. At the end of the video, I'll also provide some close-ups. So I know it's kind of hard to read when I'm writing it down, but I'll also bring it closer to the camera as well later on. Okay. Gosh, looking at it, it's a beautiful, muted, rosy hued ink that as it dries will kind of showcase the gold shimmer. I think it's a rose gold shimmer, and you'll see it later on in the close-ups. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. These days, ever since I got my Sailor Pro gear, Every Rose Has Its Thorn, I have been in love with rosy sorts of inks to put in my Sailor Pro gear. My Sailor Pro gear is currently inked with Dusty Anchor, a J. Herbin ink. Not my favorite. I actually prefer the previous ink. It's Larme de Cassis. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm gonna figure out how to pronounce that. But that would be my favorite ink so far. But I'm thinking, well, this is a shimmer ink, so I probably won't put this ink in the Sailor Pro gear. But I love this ink so much. It's so beautiful. I'm seeing a little bit of a golden shimmer emerge. Okay, so that's Robert Oster Rose Gold Antiqua. Next, why don't we do another sort of pinky, deeper pinky color. This is KWZ Brown Pink. This is also another ink that I've been wanting to try. So Georgia, you certainly know, or you certainly have really good ink tastes. I've been meaning and wanting to try so many of these inks, and out of the selection, 2 of them are new to me, or 2 of them I've already tried, I've already swatched, I have them in my collection, but the rest are all brand new. So you did a really good job. Okay, taking my glass dip pen. Look at that. It's just a richer version of Rose Gold Antiqua. Beautiful. It's like a plum color a little bit. Okay, this is, actually, let me do my raindrops. More saturated for sure. KWZ. Also, a lot of these inks I am going to feature in my next month's currently inked, just because I love these inks so much. And I've been toying with a new way of swatching inks, not necessarily switching out my tools, because I've really enjoyed using the creating the cloud swatches, but I'm going to add a little bit of a tweak to the sorts of drawings or doodles that I do when I feature each ink swatch. So this is KWZ Brown Pink. Absolutely gorgeous. It reminds me of actually like of Poussiere de Lune, or even like the Diatramentis Alexander Hamilton Aubergine. Going back to Georgia, I'm calling them Georgia. They wish to remain anonymous. Going back to Georgia's card, they said that they are truly enjoying the 8-pen questions tag. She is not alone. I am thoroughly enjoying it as well. I have to give a huge like round of applause to Simona for managing the 8-pen questions tag this year. She was the one who wanted to revisit it, and really she's the one behind it all this year, who is coordinating the order and sending an email to every participant. So shower your like appreciation, give her all the claps, all the happy emojis to Simona, because she is the one that is driving this year's 8-pen questions tag. And looking at the playlist, and I'll put the playlist down below in the description box as well, there are so many new folks who are participating. I think last year we had about 40 videos, 40 participants, and we thought that was a lot already. And now we're almost done, I think, but we've got over 50 videos. And what was really a highlight was having Tom Otto from Ink Journal, or from Gold Spot Pens, to also respond and offer his 8-pen question responses. So I am just beyond overjoyed, so pleased to see folks who are actually responding to the questions for the first time, those who are revisiting the questions. It's just fun to listen to everyone's journeys and how things have changed, how things haven't changed, how things have stayed the same. So I'm just so happy, so pleased, and all credit goes to Simona. So thank you so much, Simona. This ink is J. Herbin Poussiere de Lune. This is one of the first inks that I tried very early in my fountain pen hobby. I have to give a big shout out to, gosh, I'm not remembering. I think it's M. Naosh, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but they had recommended Poussiere de Lune a long time ago when I was very green in the hobby, just a couple months into the hobby. And it's one of my favorite inks. So thank you so much. I hope you know who you are if you're watching this video. So as I'm just taking a break, I'm looking at these 3 inks, and they just look so gorgeous together. They look beautiful together. Just by looking at the writing samples too, you can see that Poussiere de Lune is a little bit of a drier ink. KWZ Brown Ink, or Brown Pink, lays down a much thicker line, and Robert Oster's Rose Gold Antiqua looks like it's somewhere in the middle. Okay, now let's try Taccia Benitsuchi. This ink sample came from Van Ness. Actually, all these ink samples came from Van Ness. This is also another ink that I've been wanting to try. Oh, wow. Oh, my word. Oh, it's rich. It's earthy. It reminds me of Diamine Ancient Copper. Oh, it is so rich. It reminds me of some of that sort of electric, not neon, but like there's a certain like brightness in the ink that reminds me of some of the Sailor Ink Studio inks. Oh, gorgeous. Okay. Oh, this also reminds me of Dominant Industry Ginger Chicken. So what I'll do after I write and do all the swatches is I'll do some ink comparisons with my other swatch book. What I realized just now is that I forgot to do like a little writing scratch sample, like a splotch sample for Poussiere de Lune. So I'm going to do that after Benitsuchi. Oh, that is so gorgeous. Oh my word. And now I think because we're kind of leaning into the reds, I am going to now swatch Diamine Oxblood. Everyone who is in the fountain pen hobby should know this ink. It looks bloody, yes. It's rich. It's just a beautiful, beautiful ink. So yes, so I'm getting a Sailor Pro Gear pre-loved white with rose gold. And I looked on YouTube just to see, because I wanted to see a review, and there actually weren't many reviews, but I did see that Karina has a white pen with rose gold detailing, Sailor Pro Gear. Okay, what is this? This is Diamine. Oh my word. Beautiful. Look how lovely these two inks look together side by side. I'm also loving this pen. I'm imagining that the more I use it, it's going to develop just a beautiful patina, if that's what you call it, when the wood starts to age and absorb some of the oils from the hand. But it's such a pleasing writing experience. The fact that it has a wood handle, and it's very light too. Why don't I do Black Pearl by J. Herbin? I don't really write with black inks, partly because if I do write with black inks, it's normally with my Uni Jet Stream, which is in black. I still use that pen to this day. I love it so much. I'm never going to stop using the Uni Jet Streams. So I don't really use black ink with my fountain pens because I think a lot of times for me, it's all about using all these different colors. So this is going to be a good experiment. I know Herbin inks to really have that vintage, muted, more of an unsaturated feel. And so already, I mean, it seems to be that way. Oops. I think I got that. Pearl Noire. Noire? Okay. Beautiful. Rich, deep, saturated. They're not your pastels, that's for sure. And now, turn the page. I forgot to put an extra sheet of paper behind the swatching, so it did bleed a tiny bit. I'm hoping it won't interfere when I do the swatching, but in case it does, and if it does, I'll definitely move to the next page. So now I'm just going to remind myself to always have an extra sheet just behind the page that I'm swatching. Okay. Let's see. Galactic Twinkle. This is my first shimmer ink from Birmingham Pen Company. I have 3 other inks, and actually I haven't even swatched them yet in a video. I have swatched them on my Instagram, but I'll definitely feature them in a currently inked video sometime this summer, probably in June. Okay, this is Galactic Twinkle. Oh, very saturated. The lighter blue reminds me of Konpeki a little bit. Oh, this is very dark. Oh, wow, okay. Now it does not remind me of Konpeki, but I did lay down a really thick amount of ink. Ooh, already. I think it looks like there's some sheen in here as well. Okay, this is Birmingham. Galactic Twinkle. Wow. Oh, that is so saturated. I'm starting to see some icy blue shimmer appear, and it looks to be a bit of a sheener, like officially a sheener. I know I've talked about some inks, you know, they have some sheening properties, but it's very minimal, but this one looks like a sheen forward ink for sure. It almost looks like right now it's like sheen first and then shimmer. This isn't an ink that I would typically go for just because I don't really play with shimmer inks. I'm a little afraid to ink them up in pens. I do have a Bennu in a broad nib, but I have found that I don't really gravitate towards broad pens, but who knows? I'm going to still hold on to my Bennu because, you know, tastes evolve over time, and I do think it's a beautiful pen. So that's Birmingham Pen Company Galactic Twinkle. Okay, why don't we do another shimmer ink? This is Emerald of Chivor. I think Maria Rousseau had talked about this ink being the very ink that got her into the fountain pen hobby. Oops, I penned it up before creating the ink. Oops. Okay. Oh, wow, beautiful. This is like a turquoise teal color. Look at that. Oh, wow. Seems like a really wet ink. Okay, the cloud swatch is still really wet, so I don't see much of any shimmer emerging just yet. Oh, wow, beautiful. As you can tell, my first cup of water is quite dark, so I'm gonna actually go switch out the water. Why don't we do this one? Ooh, it's like a navy blue, almost like a royal blue. It's got a little bit of purple in here. Oh, it's rich. Beautiful, okay. These are very saturated inks. think one of these days I'm going to do a J. Herbin ink swatch page. Wow, look at that. It's very dark, very rich. Let's do Diamine Twilight. Oh, wow. I mean, these inks together, they look so good. So good. Ooh. Oh, I love this ink. You know, it reminds me of Diamine Graphite. This has more blue, of course, and graphite is more gray. Oh, this looks like a quintessential dark gray cloud. Oh, I really like this ink. I don't really write with black fountain pen ink, but I would write with something that's like a blue black, a gray black, or dark gray ink. Oh, I think I'm gonna like this ink a lot. I'm gonna end with a black ink. So I guess that leaves me with my last colored ink, and that is J. Herbin's Vert and Pure. I've been wanting to try this ink because after I inked up Color vs. Able in my Platinum Century 3776, which is also like a green gray ink, I wanted to try all the muted green gray inks, and this is one of them. Ooh, beautiful. Okay. I'm telling you, I'm in love with muted inks these days. Oh, that is gorgeous. Okay. Oh, it's matching my sweater right now. Okay. Okay, I am in love with this ink. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it matches my sweater. I really do like my olive greens, my sage greens. Okay, and last but not least, we have Diamine Jet Black. You know, another thing too is I have one black ink, and it's Platinum's Carbon Black. And if I am going to use a black ink, it's going to be that one. So I have been pretty pleased with that one, except I haven't been using it much these days. I had mentioned in a previous video that it's been a bit like a bad luck ink for me because I accidentally stained our brand new sofa with it. I know, it was a rookie mistake. I was playing with an eyedropper and I had filled it with Carbon Black ink, and I didn't know that it had burped until much later when the ink had already soaked into the sofa. And after trying to wash it out, I actually made it worse by washing it out because it spread out the ink. So yeah, that to me is almost like the Noodler's Bay State Blue nightmare stories that I've heard. So I've learned my lesson. Gotta be careful. You have to respect the ink. Oh, wow. Beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let the inks dry for a little bit, and then I'll come back and do close-ups and just some extra ink thoughts. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, so some time has passed. I'm going to go to this first page. It is, first of all, a glorious, sunny, beautiful day here in Seattle, so it's really showcasing these inks and offering some beautiful lighting. Rose Gold Antiqua, look how beautiful it is. It's a muted rosy pink with just a beautiful rose gold shimmer. Oh, I can see why so many people love it. I love it. Brown Pink by KWZ has some beautiful black tipping in the darker, more pooled areas. There's no sheen, there's no shimmer, but it's a nice saturated ink. Poussiere de Lune by J. Herbin is a little bit not as saturated as KWZ Brown ink. Beautiful shading ink. I would say it seems a little bit drier just because of the line widths of the raindrops down here. No shimmer, no sheen. The rest of these are no shimmer, no sheen inks as well. Taccia Benitsuchi, gorgeous color. In fact, it reminds me of ginger chicken. So why don't I, actually, let's just go over this first and then I'll do some ink comparisons. Diamine Oxblood, just a tried and true fountain pen fan favorite. And here's J. Herbin's Black Pearl. Looks like a beautiful flat black. I'm comparing it to this black, and can you see the satin sort of sheen that Diamine Jet Black has? It's a shiny black ink, jet black. And going back to J. Herbin's Black Pearl, this is more of flat black ink. Beautiful, standard, not quite sure how the flow is. I mean, for me, this season in my fountain pen hobby is really discovering the wetness and dryness of inks, and I think that just requires more practice and more time spent with these inks and pens, so and getting to know the pens that I have. Onto the second page, look at this super sheener of an ink, and oh, it's leaving a bit of residue. I think it probably won't do that in the writing samples, but in this heavy cloud swatch, it's not pulling up any ink. However, with my fingertips, it is picking up some ink, but not on the paper towel. But look at that. It is just a truly galactic themed ink. Dark blue, but then the sheen is this rich sort of red sheen with subtle shimmer compared to how much of a sheener this ink is. And then here's J. Herbin's Emerald of Chivor. A beautiful, almost electric teal turquoise, more like a teal ink, jewel toned, and it has a little bit of the sheen as well, some red sheen and beautiful gold shimmer. You could see the sheening and the shimmer in both writing samples. And then J. Herbin's Bleu de Profondeurs. It's a beautiful dark blue. And it has a little bit of sheening, but not much. A little bit in the writing sample, but not much. Not like these two. Diamine Twilight. It is this gorgeous, like kind of muted, like blue-black. And I'm surprised by how much I like it. And then you've got your more muted and unsaturated Vert and Pure by J. Herbin. Gorgeous. And then as noted earlier, just a second ago, this is Diamine Jet Black, and it has this black sheen on top of the flat black ink. Gorgeous. This finish reminds me of Platinum Carbon Black. Okay, so as far as ink comparisons go with other inks that I have, J. Herbin's Vert and Pure reminds me of Platinum, or not Platinum, but Colorverse Able. Do you see that? This is a muted kind of green-gray ink, but if you compare it to Vert and Pure, this is definitely more gray. And it's a little bit darker. This is a little bit more vibrant, especially in the cloud swatch. But I think in the writing sample, they look quite similar. Wow, this is more earthy, I would say. Beautiful. Let's see. I don't think I have an ink dupe for a Bleu de Profondeur unless I look in some of my earlier pages. No, I don't even think I have any blues in my previous swatch book that are as dark, near black as Diamine Twilight. In fact, it kind of reminds me of maybe a darker version of the muted blue black ink, possibly. Yeah, especially my Parker Duofold here. No, this is probably more related to Diamine Twilight. I don't have another ink like Diamine Twilight. It kind of looks like Robert Oster's Thunderstorm. But even then, Diamine Twilight looks more saturated. And then Diamine Jet Black, it reminds me of Platinum Carbon Black as far as this finish. It's like a satin finish. But I would even say that Diamine Jet Black is definitely more of a sheening finish versus the satin finish that that Platinum Carbon Black offers. Also going to the previous page, Taccia, well, let's actually start up top. Rose Gold Antiqua. I don't think I have an ink like that. I don't think I do at all. KWZ Brown Pink ink. It just reminds me of Poussiere de Lune. It reminds me of like a pinker version of Diatramentis Alexander Hamilton. Aubergine. Let me see if right here. There we go. This is Diatramentis Alexander Hamilton. This has a little bit of like a gold sheen. Yeah, no, not very similar. But Poussiere de Lune and Diatramentis kind of look similar, except this is more muted. This is definitely more of a vibrant purple. Taccia Benitsuchi reminds me of Ancient Copper. So let's go here. In fact, as I look at it, it does look a lot like Ancient Copper, though I would say Ancient Copper looks more orange in the writing sample and in the cloud swatch, but it looks a lot like Dominant Industry Ginger Chicken. And I know Dominant Industries Ginger Chicken looks a lot like Mont Blanc's James Purdy and Sons. So that's an interesting ink comparison there. Diamine Oxblood is an ink all on its own. And J. Herbin Pearl Noire, Black Pearl, is also an ink on its own. I don't have any other ink, black ink, except for Platinum Carbon Black and now Diamine Jet Black. So there we go. Well, please let me know what you think about these inks. Georgia, thank you so much. So kind of you to send me these inks. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye.